to look at this morning. We have too many things to talk about this morning. It's very about time we pack up. Yeah, welcome back.
Certainly, it's great to be back. And after that long out of discussion from the Liberia broadcasting system, where you have the thing from the Liberia Revenue Authority appearing discussing the issue of tax payment. I think this should be on YouTube.
Mhm.
Yes, yes, this is on YouTube.
No, it's on.
Not
It's on
it's
Facebook.
on, right?
Yeah, this is it's
Okay,
live.
so it's great to be back on the second segment of the show. It is great to be back, folks. Those of you just to join us, we'd like to say good morning and welcome. It is always our pleasure to be here to talk to speak to issues that are important to the growth of Liberia. And like we promised, this morning, we talked about speaking to what happened on yesterday at our
Mhm.
headquarters. It first started during the morning hours at the Ministry of Justice and at the Justice Ministry.
Mhm.
Our guys who are gone there to conduct our cities were attacked, and as we speak, one of our employees' phone was destroyed by deputy minister, one of the deputy ministers, one of the ministers there at the Ministry of Justice. What wrongs to mind when these things are happening in our Liberia? Like we'll continue to say that the peace we enjoy today, it is because of the grace of God being upon us. That's why we haven't end up into violence. Sometimes it can be chaotic. Sometimes it can be bloody, but it takes the special grace of God, because normally we don't even have the institutions in in Liberia. We don't have the institutions that whenever something is going off hand, these institutions,
Mhm.
knowing fully well how independent they are to control things whenever things go wrong in this country. But there's this development quickly that we want to talk about this morning. 11 minutes of the flip side at 9 o'clock, and we'll speak to the issue done yesterday.
Mhm.
What happened? There's this story that really caught my attention. Is the woman 18 jailed for stealing EPS agent pistol. Yeah, so they say the Mondura City Court has sent to jail an 18-year-old woman identified as Beauty Dumont and others for allegedly stealing an Executive Protection Service agent Afra B. Flomo pistol. The incident occurred on Tuesday, since the 27th of September 2022 at the Rehab Community, Painesville. Defendant Beauty Omentus K. Menti and Christiana charged with the crime criminal facilitation, criminal conspiracy, and theft of property, which violated Chapter 10 and 15, Section 10.2, Section 10.4, and Section 15.51 of the revised penal code of the country. But one of the reasons why this entire thing, the way in which it happened, they say the man want to go cause short time with the girl.
Mhm. Mhm.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So the man want to go cause short time with the girl. Yes. So the man want to go cause short time with the girl. He left cutting short time till the girl stole his pistol. So since September, they arrested the girl, and then they sent the girl to court. They charged the girl, she and her friends, for criminal conspiracy, uh, all blah 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 and things. But they say the man want to go cause short time. He
Ah.
just met the lady to one of the entertainment centers. Seeing a girlfriend had gone there later, he decided to take a girlfriend home. Blew the man, what the EPS officer was in there with the girl.
Yeah.
So the men and too, they gotta be careful. The men are doing all sorts of things now,
Yes.
right in the country. EPA man, you
Imagine,
go call
imagine,
job.
imagine a civilian taking away an
Yeah,
officer of the law. Boom.
yeah.
You know, to want to
The man
stay.
took the
And
girl
nothing
phone.
much I'm saying, discouraging about the thing is that what he went to do.
Yeah,
I mean,
EPA man.
sometimes I wonder. I mean, obviously, Parker. Sometimes I wonder how the guys think, how they go about doing these things that they do. That an officer sometimes, because of the position, the job you do, you need to respect it, right? At times you got to you have to position yourself in a way that doesn't reflect on your job or stuff. Imagine what he did. Imagine when he did that. Gears was a very and taking away that I'm saying that gun. Had it not been that swift intervention was made, she could have made away with it.
But they get ran away. They get took the phone, the gun, everything. They get traveled to neighboring. I think Aricos, one of the countries. Yeah, they get ran away. I thought of really because of the time, not completing the story, but I just wish I could go further on the story right here. So they get ran away. They get ran away with the gun, the phone, everything. They say, according to police charge sheet on Tuesday, September 27, 2022, Agent Flomo sent his girlfriend to defendant Omentu's shop to take a can of Vinto. Later, he arrived and paid for the drink. He then carried his girlfriend in President of Philomena and returned at the shop where he met defendant Beauty and her friend sitting. The police charge sheet said that today Beauty, Christina, and the victim shared bottles of drinks. EPS agent and the defendant decided to spend the night at Air Clasico guest house. So the men were using the biggest football festival in Spain, Air Clasico, at the guest house the men went to. While in bed on the Wednesday, September 28, 2022, at about 055 6 hours that day, security turn. He heard the door sound and woke up, but did not see the defendant. He noticed that his pistol NP2 millimeter, that's a 2mm, marked EPS 95 and other things, including Techno, Camon, Samsung, Galaxy, phone, and cash were stolen according to the victims on Friday, November 16, 2022, about 900 hours. While they were at their various business areas, suspect Edward McIntosh alias Debo Bese, Emmanuel Jacob alias Lemuel, Black, and others to be identified, armed with cutlasses and other deadly weapons, attacked them, assaulted them before making away with the properties, including cash. On Friday, November 25, 2022, those defendants were arrested in connection to said crime, theft of property, and provided their statements. The defendant Beauty was arrested in Ghana by officer of the Interpol. According to police investigation, Beauty, Christiana, and Omentu Menti voluntarily admitted to the commission of the crime. During the investigation, they said defendant Beauty admitted of stealing EPS agent Flomo assigned and P22 pistol marked EPS 95 along with his phone. She informed the police that she gave those items to defendant Omentu as per their plans to steal all of what the victim had with him that night. Additionally, defendant Beauty said that defendant Christina received one of the phones with 20 United States dollars, or what 20 United States dollars, and on Monday, December 5, 2022, when transferred at the court for prosecution, defendant Beauty admitted of the crime and explained above. She said when she committed the act, she then traveled to Ghana to fear, to fear what to fear the act. She then traveled to Ghana to fear what defendant Omentus denied said allegations. So they get run away. The people want to go, the men want to go call short time. So they get took the phone and
Yeah,
then
yeah.
so it really interesting. Too many things. Surveillance disarmed the man. The man pistol took it since September. That they arrested the lady. Interpol had to intervene before they arrested the lady. Can you imagine that? Liberia, that's Liberia for you. But too many things are happening, folks. So, like we said on yesterday, during the morning hours, Voice of Liberia has a series, and there was a press conference held on yesterday by our CEO on the issue that occurred at the Ministry of Justice on yesterday. But we just want to re-emphasize what happened on yesterday at the Ministry of Justice and what happened at our headquarters on yesterday. Fellow Liberians, we'll have a series. This is it. We cleared about this. That this series, we don't care who are you in government, what position you occupy, but the thing is, vast majority of the Liberians need to know where their money go. The money, the taxpayers' money, where it goes. So You cannot have a system where there is no thorough check, there is no investigation as it relates to the operation of government institutions in this country. We are not from the GSC to order you whether you corrupt. We are not from the internal audit agency to conduct an audit to detect as to whether you are corrupt or not. Our responsibility as media institution is to provide the necessary information to the people of Liberia as we see it. Whenever it is in a negative form, we make sure that we tell the Liberian people because we believe they are the ones we're working for. And in so doing, we do it without fear nor favor. We don't want favor for anyone. This series started
Go ahead.
since last year,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
I think some part of this year, this series started. We're even at our old headquarters. The very first place we began this series was at the ministerial complex. At the ministerial complex, there was another scene created.
Yeah, yeah. With
We
the
informed Liberians that those that the president gave the responsibility to operate, because it is constitutional that the president, being the head of the country, cannot occupy all of the positions. So that's why the Constitution gave the president the appointing power to place people in the various positions to work in the best interest of the people. It sounds very funny for somebody who has been appointed by the president, and then a journalist asks you, say, why are you coming to work late? And then you tell the president, say, I don't owe it to you. I owe it to the president. So I had not been the confidence reposed or given to the president at the ballot box in 2017. Some of the things you normally say, you will say it, or you're going to say it. So people will continue to be asking why always time we go to government ministry. Like during the conference on yesterday, there was a question asked. It is a strange thing. So it tells that it is always good to be innovative, Harris. It's always good to bring out creativity, bring out competition. And that people who are following or your listeners will start to hear or listen and view something strange, something that hasn't happened before into the governance of our country or into the way in which our country runs.
Into the media landscape of our country as a whole.
So we initiated, we went to work and we initiated this idea. Our team decided to grace and put all of the best ideas as it relates to this series. In this series, we will not dress back from this series. At Justice Ministry, see how fitting that particular ministry is. You cannot be an institution that enforces the law after it should have been passed down from the national legislature as per what the Constitution says. The legislature, they make the law, the executive there to review, examine, and then the Justice Ministry is there to enforce.
To enforce the law, to implement
making sure that everything that will be passed down from the national legislature be enforced to the letter. But that institution, instead of enforcing, they are the same people involved into violent acts. So I listened to one of the guys. He said, the Justice Ministry self needs justice. Oh, yes. The Justice Ministry said needs justice because there are people who are operating in our system who don't mean well. Who don't mean well. And because of that, there is no justice to the Justice Ministry. How can you be an institution that enforces the law? And then your own people within the building crying. Justice ministry. The whole place is fit. And then when you speak about it and people think that you pledge your loyalty to one person, and that's how it should be for the rest of your life. Sometimes when we're doing these things, people see Voice of Liberia to be an institution that pledged her loyalty or her whole commitment or what she would do in the best interest of Liberia should be pledged to the Liberian government. No. We have said times without number that this institution is an independent institution. How do you understand independence? When someone say, I'm independent, I'm an independent person. What made for Liberia to gain her independence? Because she wanted to be free.
She wanted to stay on her own.
She wanted to stay on her own.
And to be that person that will cut across and do everything. In fact, this is where you brought me to a point, right? This thing we have said it times of that number and we'll continue to say this institution remains as independent as one would think. I mean, at times, I ask myself when people think that we are pro-government, right? How can an institution that is pro-government will be doing everything possible to inform the Liberian people about the wrongs and misdeeds of the government, right? We'll be doing everything possible to inform the Liberian people about what is going on in the government. What I do understand about pro-government, especially in relations to the media, is that you will do everything possible to make the black become white, right? Even when it is black. But over times, you have furthered us. We have been one of the institutions in this country that uncovered some of the hidden things, right? If you follow up on our news, on one of our programs and things, you will understand as to what extent and how independent we are. Since we have opened our doors to all sides of the device. We have brought oppositions on this radio and they have said what they need to say. We have invited government officials on this radio and they have said what they need to say. We have gone, we visited the people out there, the ordinary Liberians. We've been to counties across, right? We open up our microphone, we take the radio to the people. If you follow up on our programs, every Saturday, we are in the various counties, we take the radio to the people. We open up. And when you listen to the criticism the government received from the people through this medium, you won't believe it. Then at least to say someone we want to think and want to drag this institution of being pro or anti-government. What we pledge our loyalty to the Liberian people. That's why when the crafter of this institution said, the first thing to remember that the voice of the people needs to be heard.
You cannot be a voice of the country and then you pledge your allegiance, the loyalty to just one group of people. No, it doesn't work that way. People will continue to do these things. And let's say this, right? Sometimes because you people feel like, yes, the head of this institution, who is the CEO, Sekou Sherry, he had his days that you want to judge him. But what happened yesterday, that, he supported the government some years back, and he has his own institution now. So today, because he said some things on yesterday, he said those things because at the time he believed that these people would have changed and they would have done the best thing in the best interest of this country. So what is wrong with it? That he has his own institution and using his own institution to erect the necessary checkpoints of people he feels that he defended on yesterday that are not doing the right thing. What is wrong? So you should be appreciative, fellow Liberians. Those of you who go about discussing Sekou Sherry in your little circle that he's ungrateful, he is this, you yourself sit and analyze that you're being ungrateful. Because some of the things y'all can say every day, you don't get no benefit. Y'all will sit down, Sekou Sherry this, he's that. He's a pro-government man. In fact, why he has so hearing, he has changed from government now to the opposition people giving him money, all such of things you will say against this one man. But he hasn't done anything that demonstrates whether he is a pro-government or anti-government or getting money from the opposition. The opposition guys, on the other hand, think that Sekou is a pro-government man because of his past activities, right? And then the guys from the government too think that Sekou is an opposition to the government. You know what happens when these things come out?
It proves to what extent your independence is.
It proves that, Harris, that you talk about independence. It tells that yes, Sekou is doing a work that regardless of your feelings, he is willing and he is ready to work in the best interest of Liberia and not an individual.
Honestly.
That is clear. That is clear. So if someone from the government thinks that Sekou is coming or taking or getting support from the guys from the opposition, where even the guys from the opposition, so now you invite them to come, just say something, they wouldn't come. They wouldn't come. So the thing that people from the government supporting for the Liberia,
and the government too on the other hand,
and the government too,
opposition is
thinking that Voice of Liberia is being supported.
And this is so unique.
Yeah, it's unique.
It's so unique to the way that we do. It tells that our primary goal and objective is Liberian people.
Yes.
I mean, we are concerned about the people. We believe that we need a Liberia where we celebrate unity and diversity, right? Where both sides in Liberia, we have opposition community. We have citizens that are opposition, right? We have citizens that believe in the ideology of the opposition community. Likewise, we have citizens that believed in the manifesto of the government. But together, they remain Liberians.
And
together, they remain Liberians.
That's why we say the democracy. That's what we call about democracy, where people have their will.
Definitely.
The Constitution provides that. You have your will, the power as a citizen of this country to affiliate with anyone, any political institution. It is by your will. It is by your choice. If you chose to support the CDC, no one can take that from you. If you chose to support guys from the opposition bloc, no one can take that from you. It is your constitutional right. If you decide one morning you say, okay, because of what I'm seeing, I will no longer support the CDC or I will look for one party within the opposition, it is your business. But for us, we will not encourage people using the unnecessary words on this institution or employees of this institution.
No, definitely we won't.
On yesterday, we saw young people. We saw young people in their numbers at our headquarters only because an interview was ongoing and the person who was invited as a guest on issues of today is an opposition member. Earlier on, the mayor announced that there will be a protest on the 17th of December. And according to them, they said Liberians are suffering. They want for Liberians to wake up to the harsh reality. So because of that, they will stage a protest. The Liberians have to come out to go and protest. And then the guys were real. And one thing I got to say, if you know you are not suffering, don't come.
Don't come.
If you know that you are not suffering, do not apply effort to come. But if you know you're suffering, you will come. We don't want to amplify that particular message. But on yesterday, Louis Brown was here to talk more about our protest. And this radio, whether you're from the government, whether you're from the opposition, once you request or once we ask you, no one will tell us what to do. You are not going to tell us who to bring on this radio. If there is an information that you know that is not clear, come ask.
On the radio. I mean, come.
No one from government has asked to be interviewed on this radio, and then the management says, no, you are from the government angle. In fact, we ain't got business to do with you. No one from the opposition bloc has requested an airtime on this radio, and then the management says, no, because you're from the opposition, we pledge our loyalty to the government, and the government will deal with. So we are not granting you that interview. So it behooves me. It sends me to another word to see young people to be used over and over in this country to satisfy the political quest of another individual.
Of another individual.
So Louis Brown on the radio. After some meetings, we saw a lot of young people in front of our headquarters, thinking this, that. We don't want to repeat exactly. They were very abusive. Some were very abusive. And at the end result, it ended into a saying that is not good for Liberia as a country. And this is the thing. The young people that continue to be misled in this country, it will come a time that your time will be out. And these people who are using you over and over and again without any benefit, any tangibles, after that 6 years, or after that 12 years, or after any other years they will spend in power, your life will not improve. Sit there. Examine yourself. Some of you who are here, since you graduated from high school, you haven't had the opportunity to enter in any higher institution of learning because there is no support. Some of you, you ain't got even high school document. You not go to the high school good to complete it. You not get document. But when they say time for riot, they revert to you, get to you, and then they tell you, they say, go create a scene that will brand young people in our country to be people who are violent. So that's the type of Liberia we want. That's the type of Liberia the leaders think they can create, whether from the opposition or from the government. It happened the last time when Alexander Cummings were coming to, when you were coming, the guys from the Liberia Party, they worked on the other guys from the New Kanga faction, they said, in fact, it was not prudent for the Musa Berete to bring Alexander Cummings to the headquarters. So they want to bring young people. And then we said the last time that it was not anything reasonable to have seen young people who are not partisans of the Liberty Party, but they place them into one set of people as people who are people who just sit there when there is a scene, or they just classify them to be people who can just cause trouble. So when there is something that they want to bring palaver, they just go and collect those young people, get them in the street. At the end of the day, they turn the entire thing to be chaotic. Some of you think you're supporting government today. That when someone talk about maybe the president or government official or Koje or Finabono or anybody in government, you feel that you're so loyal to that person, and then you won't go at that person. You're wasting your time. Have you ever think that one day, the time they can take to use you as a young man to go and throw stones at other people, have you sat and analyzed and know where their kids or their children are in this country? To know the type of schools they attend in this country? To know the type of food they eat on a regular basis? Have you sat and think about that? Have you sat and analyzed that these people will not use their children to go and create sin? They will not use their brothers and sisters, their immediate family. They will never use them. But they will go after young people who are considered to be vulnerable in society. They take advantage of them for little or nothing, and then you sit there. You allow yourself to be used. See what happened on yesterday? So those of you who are listening this morning, if you were part of the scene, right, on yesterday, if you were part of it, and you got hurt, on yesterday, there were people who got hurt. So if you were part of the scene on yesterday, you got hurt. Sit down from yesterday evening today morning, which type of bed are you lying on? They carry you to the horses to put you on the volume mattress they can lie down on? We say no. Have they taken you to the horses to give you, to even give you breakfast? We say no. So maybe they will take you to one drugstore, do first aid, give you 150, 200 Liberian dollars, and at the end result, you go with the pain.
Sometimes they don't even come to you. They don't even attend to where you are. They only send their representative to come and see you. And that's how it be. And that's why we say the young people, like you said, Parker, the young people in this country need to take responsibility. They need to build a mind that they too have a future, that they have a future that they need to protect in this country. You cannot allow yourself to be used by opposition. You cannot allow yourself to be used by government. You cannot allow yourself to be used by politicians in this country. Imagine what happened on yesterday evening. If you are pro-government supporter, you believe in the manifesto of this government. This is a government that has committed itself to freedom of expression. This is a government that has promoted, that over time have promoted freedom of expression. This is a government that have said we will allow people to speak their mind and speak freely. If this is the case, if this is what you want to develop on as a country, if this is what you want to support a government of which you are supporting, then you need to bear in mind that people are free to express themselves. People are free to say what they want to say. So Louis Brown was on his radio on yesterday, and he was clear, he was frank with the message from the opposition, and he came to deliver to those that believed in the manifesto of the opposition community. And he said to you, terms of our number, that if you feel that what they are doing is in the interest of Liberia, don't come out. That was clear. So now, if you are supporter of the government and you believe that the march that they are planning doesn't reflect the will of the Liberian people, stay at home. What business do you have coming at the institution and engaging acts of violence and engaging acts that threaten the peace of the country? We don't do it. We are drawing closer to elections. The early signs, it means a lot to us as a country. So the young
And as
people,
an institution as well.
so the young people need to take responsibility in this country. You cannot allow yourself to be used and used repeatedly. Imagine the folks that are on ground yesterday were guys in a 20s to 25 years.
And these are the same people
I don't
who are
get it.
even, they decided to stone Seku's car.
Yeah.
These are the same people who, whenever there is a problem, they run to Seku.
No, run to Seku.
And then because he feels that, he picking them and thing, he taped them, gave them something and stuff and thing, because the society in which we live in, they use these young people and then they benefit nothing. The last time, one of our workers have gone to the Perry Street, because we are not far from Perry Street, fellow Liberians. The guy was beaten on by the very group of people from that same area, because they said that he works with Seku Sharif and he is a resident of the area.
And secondly, Seku is no longer supporting the government.
Is no longer supporting the government. So because of that, they beat on the young man. So what becomes of us who are working at this institution? What becomes of us? How safe are we when it comes to doing things? But let's just be real for once. We as young people, like I was telling my friend, one of my friends the last time, I said, I just like the way Liberia or the world is turning. Most of the professional areas you see operating right now, the young people are in majority. Oh, yes. The young people. A voice of Liberia. If we'll talk about the older person here, a voice of Liberia, maybe we'll be talking about the manager.
Yeah.
The manager.
Yeah.
That's because the man, the man will be at the Sunday. Yeah, and the older guys, let's say, but the rest coming down.
The men are strong you.
Yeah, coming down. So young people, see us, those of you watching this morning, see our faces. See our faces. See how young we are. And then we want to contribute. We don't want to be like the other people who are being classified as vulnerable people in society.
And this is why Parker, the folks, the youth that can be, I'm saying, that have allowed themselves to be used by politicians. This is what you need to do. At times when they call you to engage in the acts of violence, look in their faces and tell them, create an avenue that I will take responsibility to do something meaningful to the country. Imagine Sekou as a young man, right? You look in Voice of Liberia, I mean, within employment force, I mean, the highest you'll find at least 2 or 3% in 30s. The rest,
20s, yeah.
People are in their 20s. So it tells you that allow them to create an opportunity that you will work and do something that will impact the lives of others, and not for yourself to be used
over and over and again.
You are being used as a tool. Sometimes I wonder what the senses of the guys can be.
So they got to believe that, yes, Sekou supported the government. So as a result of the support, you got Voice of Liberia. And Sekou has said times without number,
I challenge anyone from the government
to come out.
And
so even if Sekou got money from government, so you think he will continue to be a fool if he were not innovative? That whatsoever he was getting, that you think that he got, that he will invest, that he can empower all of young people on tomorrow. So you think he's just a fool, he will continue to be a fool. And that he got playing for his life too as well. That you want to attack him.
You know,
and there are people who are hypocritical in this country, and that's why Liberia cannot move anywhere.
Yeah, certainly. That's right. That's right.
And that's why
and I don't know, Paco, what is high in it. Sometimes I wonder, right? I don't know what is high in it. If we are youth, right, we don't believe in a manifesto or April and Paco. There's a way we can do it. If Paco comes up to talk to us, after talking, we'll go say, Mr. Paco, we don't believe in what you say. We can support you. I mean, I think that is the the best way we can do it, right?
Let's be polite.
And it hurts them more. When you are polite and say the real truth to someone, it hurts them more.
It hurts them.
Then you engage in the violence. I mean, I don't see nothing wrong if Parker would tell me that Harris follow me, not go this way. And I say, Parker, I can't go. You know why? Because I don't believe that where we're going, you can do what we're going to do. So I'm not going with you. I mean, that's the honest truth. I'm being real with what I say. But why if Parker tells me, let's go this way? I say, no, I can't go the way. I go to this two, I take right. What's that?
So our engagement should be based on the exchange of ideas.
Definitely.
Like I say, in most of the professionals areas now, you see young people. It is because the people's minds are being refined. They think that they need to do something better with their lives.
Other countries are fortunate ahead because the youth are taking responsibility to do things that will impact.
Liberia is a typical example of classifying young people to be problem people.
And we are proving it. Right?
We're proving it. So, for example, the man yesterday, the man call you, go over there, go cussing. The man not there. You can't. You achieve the very first time. The man give you $5.
$10.
$10. Whoa, now something our loyalty probably not do it for us. You go. That $10, you ain't got food to your house. You ain't got a better sleeping place.
Before the morning's there. Tomorrow you get a lot of habits.
Before the 1 hour, all the habits you got, you'll pass through it.
No money.
Then you'll go. The next day, the man call you. Do that for the next 5 years, the next 6 years. You know how much that man has invested in his children, that he's using you. Every time he uses you, you give him $5, $10. He's not doing anything for you, right? Then after 6 years, the man leaves power, and you see the man. You think that man will recognize you as someone who made him to get what he got today? You think?
But the men, the first thing, they may not even know you.
They may not know you.
They may only know you to be youth. Over time, the only thing, the people he deal with are the youth. They're disgruntled youth, right?
They disgruntled. They classify them.
So he classify you in that position. Now, there will come a time that man will no longer want to associate himself with
you. Oh, yes, because you were destructive.
So when you come around, he sees you to be that person that's destructive. You were executing his evil deeds.
Yes.
When he needed you to do the worst, you were there for him. There will come a time when that man succeeds on his objective. When you stand before him, obviously he will one up his
he wins because he knows obviously that you want to have him.
You want to have him. You don't have any future again.
Oh yes.
He knows that he can't invest anything because you are someone that is made of violence.
So it says yes, the man damaged your future.
Yeah.
He damaged your future and you got no say. So those of you who were here on
I
yesterday,
don't
we
know.
don't want to restrict whether you're from government or you're from opposition.
No,
But
it
all we
doesn't
know it
matter.
was two group of people, two different group of people that turned out on yesterday to create the same. Other people were even coming at employees of this institution.
What is wrong when someone appeared on a radio, right, to explain what they intend doing?
That didn't want build a radio station.
I mean, that I don't get. Like,
that
you
didn't
will
want
come,
get a radio
you come
station.
and subject to us
What to do or who to bring.
or who to bring on the radio.
And some of them, nothing hurts me. Some of them, they're defending they can do at it. They don't get nothing they're getting.
Nothing.
Far red that they can't get.
Nothing.
So they feel that the players loyalty. Look, you cannot let someone to the extent that you hurt your brother.
And Paco, I've gathered again that what happened is that, for instance, if Paco want the guys to carry on the D, Paco will engage them. Paco has his honor men at
Yes.
So the honor men, when they come in the community, they say, gentlemen, you cannot go.
You cannot go.
I mean, how?
So that cannot go that your own your mind and Papo you on this
earth
to be a cannot go person that goes called
so Paco, Paco is sitting home and gave $5 or $10 to his guy to
go look for 20 persons.
Found 20 men. Share the $20 on the $1. Make them to go down and disturb. So when I come in the community, when I'm calling, gentlemen, I need 20 men. The 20 men is Samuel. You know what? We're going to disturb this place. So the next thing is that after the operation, I give each one of you $5. Oh, we agreed. Where are we going? Follow me, let's go. So when I go, I will be in the picture.
Yeah.
I will stay and put my hand and say, "Yo, sit down and you'll
go there."
Then you go, your face, you use your face to carry on violence to satisfy someone's interest. And at the end of it, the person will no longer associate themselves with you.
But you cannot be an evil doer, and then I know that I can use you. And I succeed, then I want to incorporate you into my
because
existence.
Because they believe that the next man too will use you to succeed.
Oh, yes. So I cannot incorporate you.
So
sit down and reflect. Think about your life as young person. Those of you who they can use normally.
You have a future.
Sit and think. You say, I did this thing 2017. 2017, I did it 2020. 2023. 2023, now Kanye, they start using me. I'm still doing it. What has changed? The mayor, he was looking like this. Today, the man in cars. Not just one car, but different cars. Yeah. We see today in another car. They even his living place, I ain't know that. But he used me to carry on a mission. At the end result, you see him with cars, people running to him. Why you think people can run to me too? Sit down. One of the last time he even asked him, say, can you provide me a scholarship? Me, I'm a high school graduate. Can you provide me a scholarship? At least I can forward my education. Me, I did not go to high school, right? I did not complete. But you provide me an opportunity where I can be able to learn trade that tomorrow when you're not there again, that I can depend on, I can make things to happen on my own. Have you sat and put for these ideas? If you know that someone really like you, bring these suggestions and see how the person will answer, how the person will respond to you. But to just sit down, your mom born you.
Nothing she's benefiting from.
She's not benefiting anything. But the only thing you do, you pass around, harm peaceful citizens, and you say you pledging loyalty. In this country, and there are people who in government, they support these people at the end of the month. At the end of the month, they just gather in one area. This is the information. At the end of the month, they get in $50, $60, and they just move with it. So they're just there. Someone's mind is not refined. But you giving the 50, 20, 10 at the end of the month, you are not helping. You are also contributing to the backwardness of this country. Because every time people cry for development, when the minds of these young people are not refined, they are not rehabilitated, you know what happens? You can bring the last development in this country, nothing will happen.
Nothing will happen.
Nothing will go on. You will not realize anything. You will not realize anything because you yourself supporting. You supporting them. What has Voice of Liberia done? That you will just sit and just create hate for the institution that is doing an independent job. So when they brought somebody to come talk, if you know what the man is saying, You're not certified. They got plenty of radio stations. Tune your dial for that moment. You say what Louis Brown say in the studio, it is not to my taste.
Yeah.
So let me listen to either BBC or listen to other radio station for that time.
For that time.
When Louis, say Voice of Liberia at my radio station, when Louis Brown leaves, I can go back and listen to the news or listen to any other programs. But to say, because they bring Louis Brown or Voice of Liberia, you say Voice of Liberia government radio station, and even the people that can eat with us, these are people that even discuss us. Can you imagine that?
Mm-hmm.
What type of Liberia is this? When young people have been used by politicians to carry on their evil deeds, right? What type of system are we building for our children and children's children? You know what runs to mind? What happens that in that particular thing, in that particular incident, you go cause chaos, right?
Mm-hmm.
You went to a scene where something happened, and then by logging it for you, you got hurt or you died in the process. Then your mind, your party, people say, hey man, the boy died for what kind of cause you die for? You don't know your what, your value, you don't know it. You don't know it. So the people, the people continue to use young people. Why can't you stand up? So is it wrong now? Right?
Mm-hmm.
That when President Weah is in the wrong, you tell President Weah that you're wrong. Then it mean that you're not supporting him? No, it's not about support. It is about doing the right thing. If the deputy minister or minister who is appointed by the president, and the president is being elected by the people, and they are the people we're working for. So you see that you pledge your loyalty to the president, the president too as well pledge your loyalty to the people, and we are working for the people. So who is more superior? Who is more superior? We're working in the best interest of the people who have come to do a piece of job. We haven't said anything on this radio that government is this. All Liberians shouldn't vote for this government. We haven't said anything on this radio that the opposition is good, its opposition is this. In fact, Liberians shouldn't vote for the opposition. On our morning shows, the afternoon, on our news program, you listen. Anything that we don't understand, we'll go for verification, we'll verify. We'll do our ABC in tight.
Mm-hmm. And bring out the best we want to talk to.
We'll not give you information based on gossip. Anything we say on this radio, we got documents. So what if a government official was involved into that particular act and you say it, or because he or she has a connection to the president, and people who don't benefit nothing at the end of the month say they want to threaten you? You just sit down and think about your life in the next 5 years, not next 6 years. Some of you, what you're doing now, you did it 5 years ago. You did it 10 years ago, and you're still doing it. You will continue to do it, and no improvement will occur in your life. You know why? Because you sit down to be used. You allow yourself to be used. Liberia needs to grow. Liberians need to grow. The young people need to be impactful. Some of your friends, even some of them at the end of the day, they ain't making much.
Yeah.
They are not making much. But they must get a task. They must do something that at the end of the month, even at 5, 10, 20, they will get it. But for you, you say you won't be.
Because people want to get away with the dependency syndrome, that you depending on someone to do everything for you. And that's what happened. Because when you don't want to challenge yourself to do something, Paco, people, if you don't use yourself, people will use you.
People will use you. And you don't blame them.
You don't blame them because you allow yourself to be used. And this is what the youth of this country must challenge themselves to. We need to put ourselves in the right position. That they say, we need to promote ourselves in the best way possible.
Most of the areas have been taken over by young people.
We cannot create an image for ourselves where people no longer trust. Over time, I've been saying that the youth are not serious.
They are not serious.
Over time, I've been saying that the youth are people that are not waiting to deliver on the agenda of this country. That the youth, we cannot trust the youth of this country. We have been, in terms of our number, this has been a debate. Even for representative positions in this country.
Yes.
If you go, the people will tell you that the youth are people that are not responsible to govern this country. That the youth, they are people that are not responsible to represent the vast majority of the people. Because the actions that
They
you
will
continue to
continue to
demonstrate,
prove it.
you
We'll
continue to
continue to
demonstrate the
prove it.
actions. That why will you say that, I'm gonna say 5, 6 in the evening, while you're sitting at home with your family,
Someone just
someone
call
calls you and say,
Someone-
come, let's go do this. I mean, nothing positive. The first thing you need to ask the person, what am I going to achieve after doing this?
Yes.
I mean, that's the first question. Every man as a whole, before engaging in any activity, ask yourself,
What is your achievement?
I mean, your
At the
achievement.
end,
What
when
will
you
you
should
achieve?
have completed that task,
You engage yourself to violence. You take right. I mean, say you chose to. You brought someone car. I mean,
they arrest you,
you do
police
everything.
carry you.
Police. I mean, say police carry.
They will not go there.
Nothing.
They will not go there
At
to
any
free
time,
you.
your family member, your poor mother, at whom will have to go beg for 5 or 6 or 7 to go free you.
To go free you.
Then you come home again,
And then you got
and
a plea.
and nothing, and nothing. Those you went to represent will not come in your defense. Those you went to represent will not show their face, because this is the thing: they are protecting their own image. So then ask yourself, why is it that the mayor is protecting his image but want to damage mine? Because
You can see them.
when they arrest you and take you to the police station,
You can see them.
they won't come there, because when they come, they'll be associated with you. They don't want to be associated with you. They don't want to be noticed. That's why they sent you.
But they see you to be useless in
The man
society.
is an able-bodied man. Why can't he come out himself to do what he wants to do? But we send you.
You sent you. So, for example, right? Today, the man went to you and said, let's go single and go call someone and sing that. You said today, you say no. And I'll go on. Tomorrow, you go, you do it again. You say no. And I'll go on. You know what will happen?
Then the next of it, oh, God, this is the thing. When a man's about to go see
The
the
news is
president,
on, right?
definitely.
Yeah, so the
When they-
formatter is
When they
formatter is I don't know what is
this is the thing, right? When a man is about to meet the president, he doesn't call you.
he doesn't
He
call
doesn't
you.
call you. When a man's about to travel, he doesn't call you. But when it's time for violence, that's the time the man
The
call
man
you.
will call you.
So your whole level, you're batting
You're
for
batting.
you. Yeah, when it's bad,
Man, you
call
can't
you.
put you on the F to be just doing bad.
Some of you not get money far early. What is
Since
sense they born you, but you have to go stay on the son to cause violence. And anytime when they take the position, Oma will go beg and run to take money and can free you.
we need to stand
I
up.
wish you were my child. Seriously.
We need to
Got
stand up.
to go.
What the news team? The news guys.
The news guy I say they enjoy all this money. My continue.
Please call for matter for the news. Yes.
No matter to ever come to a school, so we'll just leave the show and bring you on the news. Yeah,
Yes.
we'll just leave the show.
We'll
and bring
leave
you
the
news.
show.
I mean,
We'll bring you on the news.
Yeah.
We'll bring in the
We
news. So
just
as
gotta-
Famada will come for the news, we'll take the news and then we continue. So the thing is very important that young people need to sit down and analyze that enough is enough. Why can't we put ourselves together and look? Most of the times during election time, electioneering period in this country, that the young people they can go after, the old people can be sitting down to their houses. They see young men they will use and go tell them, say, Mr. SY is good. That the old people vote the person. They use the same young people to go and convince the old people.
Yeah.
The old people fall. They fall prey to whatsoever conversation they will have. The old people will vote. They say the other president win. When you win, that person wins. You will win and convince another person you off the show.
you off.
You off the show. You will decide to throw rock
OFF, you off.
to another person or against another person. You off the show.
Completely off.
What runs to mind when they say young people are the precious jewelry? They are important to the existence of this country. They are important. That we must take them seriously. What happened in the news, people? So it speaks volume to a larger extent that we as citizens, we as young people, we need to stand up.
Yeah, I think it's when that ended in the switch. No, that
Where?
they board. Yeah, exactly. No, switch it off. Okay.
Yeah.
So it's what giving the feedback.
So we need to stand up. We need to stand up because we feel that Liberia will move nowhere when we continue to get ourselves involved into these things. It is not healthy for us. It is not healthy for us as a country. It is not healthy for us as a people.
Mhm.
We can continue to be the way we are. What is Gibson? The way we continue to be because we feel like Liberia, that's some kind of country that the young people will just get involved into violence every time. Every time, every day should be about young people in Liberia engaging into violence. What happened on yesterday?
What are you benefiting in return?
Our lives as young people or as journalists who are working at this institution as well are
And
at risk.
sure.
So many people
uh,
received lots of, for me, I received calls yesterday.
yeah, over
Say,
times.
Papa, you need to be
I
very
mean,
careful.
I mean,
So why can you be working into an environment and then someone telling you just doing a piece of job, then someone telling you, say, you need to be careful.
for the same,
Because we have
yeah.
young people who minds are refined. Sometimes they know what they do is wrong. They know exactly some of the things they do wrong. They know that it will yield no necessary result when they do these things. But they ignore the fact that they are being criticized, that they are being characterized in a negative term as troublemakers, as bunch of confused people, but they ignore all of what people say against them. They resort to violence. It doesn't just sometimes cripple you, but it cripples you because you haven't understood your true essence as a young person. You haven't understood your purpose of being in this world. You haven't. Because you, as a rational being, you just allow for one person to just use
So
you.
use you.
For the last 5 years, the person keep using you, and there is no benefit, no change. They see you say fill it up.
Somebody to tell you go to school, you don't go to school.
Go to school, you say
They
no.
send you they pay your school fees and then you don't go to school at all. You sit home, you smoke all day, and at the end to kind of be causing unnecessary sins for us. And talk about this is important that we do it. That we need to issue this disclaimer. Since the incident happened, like I've been confronted on a series of occasions. I mean, from different sides, people have been calling me and things. We want to make this clear, right? That what happened here on yesterday, Voice of Liberia as an institution has no connection of it. Even our staff at the institution has been threatened. Our staff, one of our staff, have been beaten.
When I started beating on that Paris Street.
On that Paris Street, the same Paris, one of our staff have been beaten. So we issue, I mean, we want to send that as a disclaimer. So no one should say it that this is it. I think one of the institutions, I'm saying online platforms, right? One ANCTV,
I saw.
right? ANCTV posted this news, and someone commented and said this whole thing was, I mean, it was planned by Voice of Liberia. And I had to go there and make him, and make him understand what.
So
happened.
how did Voice of Liberia play?
So this is it. When the news happened, people don't seek to understand what exactly happened. So when our institution break the news, all they had to say the guy went on it. So when I went there and do the full readout and explained to him, because I felt that he was acting out of ignorance.
Some of them they know these things.
You know, so for me,
but
for
they,
me, that's
they want to act blind, to reality.
To reality. So when I went and provided what happened, and I gave you a clear illustration of what happened, and he came my box and said, "Oh, sorry, Irma said that's how."
So can you imagine that?
So you were fair and told me that that's how. I mean, so someone told me that the whole thing I must do that. I said,
yeah. So some of the people like
that
Voice of Liberia makeup. Voice of Liberia. So
how
one of the comments I saw.
How can we be making up when our staffs have been threatened as well?
One of the comments I saw was, how can you go to government-owned run institution as an opposition figure? Can you imagine that? People are making such comments on a live, and that the institution has no clue to. So is it a bad thing now to invite someone from the opposition? Is it a bad thing? And we haven't rejected anyone for coming on this radio.
Yeah, we have been open.
Mayor
over time.
Cody has appeared on this radio.
And this is the thing I wanted to draw back or you reference Mayor Koji. When Mayor Koji appeared on the radio, right? Go in and watch that interview. There are some things he said about opposition on this radio, right? There are some things he said about opposition on this radio. So why is it that why is it that opposition community didn't come out to chat Mr. Koji when he said when he referenced the Southern in Gumora issue, when he referenced other stuff here, particularly he was specific on the opposition community. Why is it that other from the folks from the opposition community didn't come out
to issue disclaimer or
to engage in what you did? Because people need to understand that there's a government as a whole that has supported over times. They ask, the people might be free to express themselves. So you cannot be supporting a agenda for government that says people are free and are liberty to say what they want to say. Then you come back and be going contrary to what the government, the president has set aside.
Oh, yes.
What sense are we making? Then?
So even some of them, they undermine their own government. We don't want to restrict it whether it was government planned or people from government. Sometimes it can be the government. Sometimes individual within the government. So at the end result, it boils down to being a supporter of the government. Carry on that particular act. Even sometimes some folks within the opposition who are ranking members within the opposition, you see them do these things, and at the end result, it is just an individual. Because there are certain people just pledge loyalty to an individual. You think if someone said they're so loyal, they're no longer loyal to the CDC.
Yeah.
They're no longer loyal to the CEC. They are loyal now to individuals because they feel that the very CDC that they fought for, the cause, nothing is happening. So the better or the preferred being loyal to an individual that the thing will tip them.
To be loyal,
to be loyal to a party.
And to do what is right.
So the people no longer pay attention to Liberia as a country. They now pay attention to an individual, pledging loyalty to an individual over the state. And we'll continue to see these things over and over and again. I saw a release from the defense minister. I think that, the defense minister. Either the defense minister, not the defense minister, or Prince Johnson, the chief of staff. The chief of staff, yes, Prince. He said once you have problem, the election is right next door. Once you have problem, you must be willing or be able to engage the necessary or the relevant institutions. If you have a problem during the election time and you're not certified, like what was done in the 2017 election, and that the late Councillor Charles Bronskin of the Liberty Party had to challenge the process and took the entire process to court, and then the Supreme Court came out with a ruling, challenge the process, test the law, but don't engage into violence. So he said he will support the Liberia National Police. They will support the Liberia National Police. The AFL will support the Liberia National Police.
And I saw that read out from the
anyone who will be found into violence will bear the full weight of the law. So that the army people talking this one here. And the army people talking this one. You think the army men will be talking? You think we ain't got sense in this country? We ain't got sense that we're supposed to do our own thing. We as young people, we're supposed to sit down. Every time you cry for politician here and there, but there is no other benefit coming to you as an individual. All you do is sit there. When was the last time you went to the man said, give me school fee, and the man gave it to you? When was the last time you went to the man said, I want to go vocational school, give me money, let me go. The man gave it to you. When was the last time you went to the man said, pay my house rent? He did it. But he prefers giving you $10 because he wants to use you. He feels that you're very stupid. That you can be used at any time.
At any time.
5 years ago, 10 years ago, your life stayed the same. You can sit down. Some people we expect to be very mature. These are the people who are sometimes seen here discussing these issues. The election is about exchange of ideas.
Yeah, definitely. That's the whole essence of a politicking. The exchange of ideas, right? If I believe I have the right manifesto, let us be able to sell our ideas that the people will say, yes, I think this guy is good, then the next person. That's why we're going to go for him. If you believe that the government has done enough of which they deserve re-election, why will you bother yourself going engaging in the violence? Everyone is entitled to the vote.
Oh, yes.
Be able to convince the people to vote for you.
Oh,
That's the whole
yes.
thing. So if you are believing that President George Weah has done enough of which he deserves re-election, there's no need. If the opposition community thinks that the president should be removed because he has failed, allow them to sell the idea to you that believe that the president is doing much. Together we are building. Together we are promoting democracy, right?
But that's a building of democracy.
People should disagree.
Where people will freely exercise their
the right
political
as
will.
to what is or what are the things needed to be done. And now the youth, and now you to allow yourself to be pulled by the nose. Some of you, they seem very guys you come and defend and fight for. They don't even allow you to enter the houses.
But they didn't even know that.
Because they know you to be criminals. They see you to be criminals. They see you to be people that are very unserious. I mean the one. In the phone of Eugene Fagon. I mean the one. They move for and go stay for so on. And tell me again on your house.
Yeah.
Then the next day, tell you come to go support you. I go. I mean the one supposed to.
So you said that there is no clearer picture for you. There's no nice you only say we are the future. What kind of future leader you are? When you allow for someone to use you 5 years, 10 years, no improvement. They say if what kind of you're not no future leader.
And we need to give it up for the manager, man. He's very strong. I mean,
so thanks to the Liberia National Police on yesterday.
Yeah, the guys were very robust.
The Liberia National Police.
And it was swift, man. I mean,
they were in time. Mm-hmm. And then they came to our rescue because the guys were even trying to enter.
Yeah.
They were even trying to enter. I saw a guy in the video. Can you imagine? Young man abusing as if he doesn't even have parents.
And I saw the way that guy was angry last night, right? Paco, something rose to my mind. I wish that's how that guy was tested for change.
Can you imagine? Yes.
I was thinking as to how I wish that guy was yearning for transformation in his life. If
that you will sit and say, yes, God, let me stay all today and tell the people hey, what you've been doing is wrong, and today I want for my life to be transformed.
Back when the guy was desperate, like yesterday, he was desperate to a point that it tells you that if that guy was desperate for education that way,
oh yes,
he
would have gotten the result. He would have gotten the necessary result.
PhD by this time.
The man I get PhD. The way the man was angry and he was very insultive yesterday.
But
if you were yearning for a change, yesterday, they come to take you from straight high school diploma to PhD because he wanted a change.
Imagine I'll see you late, small car.
Small
car can so be carrying all the time.
So you see, it's funny and serious.
No, it's serious.
But then it has a negative effect on us as an institution.
Mm-hmm.
People, the thing is, people continue to just misinterpret. Force of Liberia is not for government. Force of Liberia is not for opposition. Force of Liberia is not against government. Force of Liberia is not in favor of what the ugly things that government would do.
You seen government officials you're protecting. We have called them on the radio times of our number.
They can refuse.
Some of them you call them, they don't even come. Some of them, if you open our phones of our exchange of messages, you call them on the show. You tell them come and talk about this. The opposition say this. Come and say your own. They will give you the assurance at the end time. They don't even show.
Okay, up. This is the entire thing, fellow Liberians. Those of you who they can use to say, "Okay, let's go create scene. Let's go cause trouble." The man call you, you agree. So that bad thing too will go beyond that man. The play he working. The play he can come for and tell you, say, oh, let's go cause trouble. We'll go there. The place dirty. The man can go to work in time. So that good thing it is a goal, right? That the man doesn't go to work in time. The place he works is very fitted. It's a good thing. So you yourself to know the truth that the man here, He's not a good leader. And for that reason, he can go against an institution. And we don't care. Like we said, we will make for Liberians to know the truth. We will make for, look, we will make for Liberians to decide. When the government does wrong, we will say it. If the government does good, we will say it. Oh, yes. But even the people in government, because they are very lazy, things that the government, some of the progress that this government has made in a little space, they don't talk about it. Just this gone time, Liberia was connected to the gear from Ivory Coast. Where you have Guinea, you have Sierra Leone, you have the Ivory Coast and Liberia under one current system. Liberia returned to stable electricity. All the government officials, they forget about that information.
Yeah.
What they were talking, they were running behind what they think.
The
Team
quarter team we are
team we are playing football in Qatar. Now what they were running after.
It was the same voice of Liberia.
It was the same voice of Liberia. That left that story.
When the country passed in the Millennium Challenge scorecard,
we were the very first institution.
Basically on different things and things.
People from the Ministry of Information, they never knew about this information.
They didn't even know.
We had to call one of them. And the same information we use, that the same information they use. We were the very first institution that broadcast that information and news. I listen to all of the institutions I feel that they are pro-government institutions. They never carry it because they were on top. But we made that story to be in our headlines. One of our top stories. So how are we against the government?
You get us sleeping president, we'll not look at that.
How are we against the government? So the president needs to come in. The last time was at the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. They said we were right. The Foreign Affairs was wrong to have carried on that act at the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. Since then, our materials, they damaged. You cannot see one official from the Ministry of Foreign Affairs coming to say, oh, they're your material here. A private institution, you run a private institution, and then they told you pay for the people material up to press. You can pay. They will say we're supporting government. So it's not a bad thing to unearth things that are happening. So when you talk about people working in government system, look at that funny thing that happened to the Ministry of Youth and Sports. So when you talk about it, you have been government. That you say the Youth and Sport Minister said he instituted measure that the SKD will not be used. Yes, it's a public information that because the SKD is under renovation, that it will not be used. Granted, that information went across. But where your cashier came from to go issue someone receipt that yes, you already paid.
Because
then after the people made a pronouncement, then you say, oh, in fact, the SKD is on renovation. You also have space. It has been, let's say. So when you talk about that, it is at the result of the lack of system and so on turned you to be.
It tells you that it tells that even the government lacks communication.
Oh yeah.
It tells you that officials are disenchanted among themselves.
But that particular communication,
that's it.
Like, anytime they bring out international report, the human working groups, the human rights working groups, they say that there are systems the government has set up, but it's there in field ministry. It's there in field ministry. So it's just in circulation, certain area. You go to the people, you go ask them, who know about you. So what type of work? What type of work are you doing as a government institution or as government as a whole? So that all of you can be making president. We are all clear. Man, now in this country, you're doing all such a thing.
We are newcomer.
The opposition too. The opposition too, on the other hand, they acting too lazy. The president in the country, they ain't doing anything tangible. So what would make for even the president to say, I will be in hurry to go back Liberia? Because you got a bunch of people who are not even serious too. They're not serious. The meeting that they're supposed to discuss, they forget about it. And then they won't say this, that. Look, other country, the president leaves, and you got serious opposition people, brother. The type of work the opposition people will do, when we will be long for that president to return to the country. We don't talk about overthrowing, But the way the person with the opposition, the major opposition figure, the way they were engaged, and then you will be hearing the results wheresoever you are, which country you be, you the president, you go, you say you won't come back. But you think that it's 6 years and 7. They think that it's 6 years and 7. The president, the president coming on the 18th. What timetables? What different the opposition group has done in this country? That someone will say, okay, we're supporting.
You also submit to the president. Mr. President, you left in your absence.
Yeah.
And Pastor Braga said the president absence and the president means nothing.
Okay. So you're not doing anything. You opposition man.
Opposition.
Big opposition man. People depending on you.
The president left the whole country.
The president left the whole country.
What's the president
What are you doing to now to convince the citizens? But the only thing they do, they come up with press releases that will not even help the situation. So we're just saying these things. We as young people, we shouldn't allow ourselves to be used. Not every time people will consider they will brand us to be problem people, violent people. No, that's not being civilized. It has no value to you as a person.
Yeah, sure.
It has no value to you as a young person when someone look you in your face. They look you in the face and tell you are destructive.
The thing the guys are failing to realize is this, Paco. The president today you are supporting, your hearing is because he laid a very good foundation for himself.
Oh, yes.
The Joseph Braga today you supporting is because of the foundation he built for himself. And like every other leader. So come to think of it, if the guy's going to engage in the acts you are engaging at their youthful age, and up to this time, you think they're going to be to where they are?
Oh, no.
Definitely, they're going to be.
Oh, no.
So the thing you need to understand is that at the time they were in a youthful age, they were playing their future.
Oh, yes.
They were based after education and seeking other opportunities to advance themselves because they knew that times ahead could be favorable for them. So what are you doing at this time?
The people in government.
What are you doing at this time? When you continue to cry on government for government to provide free school for you, because now at this time you need to pay yourself so that your children won't be asking you why you did for us.
Oh, yes. Oh, yeah.
How I wish my hair is. I mean, currently, let's think of it, right?
Oh, yes.
Like my daughter right now. I mean, I need to build a future for her.
Oh, it's obvious.
I mean, that's real. I need to build a future for her so that in the near future, she won't be asking me, Dad, what you did for me.
What did you do?
I mean, obviously.
What did you do?
But most of you are not thinking that direction.
So it has become a norm in society or in Liberia that when we want cause problem, let's go call the young people.
Mm-hmm.
Anytime you want to make trouble, just call young people. They will escalate the entire thing for you, and then you will enjoy it. But the people, some of them, they ain't got their parents, they ain't got their children in Liberia. Every time, some of them, they're not in government now, but they say private government institutions are the worst, right? Government institution, government should make sure that they equip government institutions. Yes, they are right. But just then, when they were in power too as well, as whether government institutions were up to date. So now the man who is not in power telling you that government institutions are not up to date. In fact, their children can't go there. But even when they were in power, their children used to go there, we say no. So these are people, sit down, place them, on the scale and examine them to know as to whether they mean well. They don't mean well for you as a young people. They don't mean well. They just want to use you, damage your future. So they feel that your future is already damaged for you. You ain't got a future. So anytime they want to use you, they will use you like remote control. They will control you to be destructive. Your own area is just to cause problems. That's your area. Just to cause any song, everybody get that area. So you the young man, your own area, they give you $10 and you be done. Calculate $10, $10, and every time you go cause problem, they give you $10. Every time you go cause problem, they give you $10. You get hurt, you use that same $10.
You use it.
Someone beat you. You so now the man will just be there.
Have you Western or seen where the guys go to share that money? What they can fight for?
They can go fight.
Oh man, I can try to see.
They can go fight and
seriously.
So and sometimes
it just tells
it is
our whole life is violence, and people take advantage of them because of these things.
They got people who can reason. They got people who will know. Some of them they got a family. It is not all about disadvantaged young people. No, some of them they know what to do. Some of them, they're just there because they feel like when you touch this person. Look, it has become a practice in Liberia that when you tell this man, I will come after you. So our worker went on Perry Street early in the morning. They beat on the man. They say why the man is an associate to Sekou Sherry.
And why he works for Voice of
Why
Liberia.
he works for Voice of Liberia. Voice of Liberia, who told you that Voice of Liberia is a government radio station? Who told you? For the first time we open, the very first day we open the station, across, I can remember February 9, 2021, when we opened a particular station, we were in the system, we've been in the system. February 9, 2021, when we opened this particular radio station, who told you? We said that because you used to listen to Sekou on one radio station, you listen to him on one radio station, that he was supporting government. Said that now, since he came to Voice of Liberia, that he got his own radio station that got 3 beautiful studios. That got 3 beautiful studios in Liberia. Since he came here, when last he told you that I'm supporting the government or I'm not supporting the government? He said, I open my radio station or my institution to fight government. I'm not open my radio station to fight opposition. I am an independent person.
And open to
And
support,
Sekou said it.
to make the
Sekou
voices of the people heard.
There were some times,
that's the
even he
reason.
went live. He said, I support the president. He support the president. You can support an individual, but not an establishment.
Yeah.
It's obvious.
It's obvious.
He said, you support the president to the letter.
Even the great CNN. I mean, all the parts of the world, you see it. Every individual has a whole pledge of loyalty. I mean, especially when it comes to the political space, right? You choose about who you feel you think you could support. So he has been very open. He didn't say he support a regime. I mean, obviously, because the regime is the entire government. I mean, but individual as a president, right? I mean, I don't know why the people are not honest.
So what different has he done?
And this is it. Someone want to use the justification during the days when he was to that radio, right? That you say, oh, he supported the agenda of the government. This is it. You cannot keep doing the same thing
over and over
and expect different results. If at the time I believe that Parker was the right man, right, or Parker was doing the right thing, and I tend to support Parker, and I get to realize that the thing that Parker is doing is wrong. I cannot continue to play a blind eye to the wrongs, even when it's wrong. Obviously, and this is one of the things affecting this country.
Oh yes,
you will come and become. You will do everything to be blind loyalty to an individual instead of the country.
Yeah,
you will do everything possible to blind your eyes on the truth.
You say when you touch a person,
you
not test me.
Imagine
they will go after
you. Imagine last night the songs they were singing.
Yeah,
the songs they were singing.
So you know what happened on yesterday?
And I don't know, but Paco,
you know what happened on yesterday?
Our lives were at risk.
You know what happened on yesterday? And when these people, when they say they into it, they into it. When they say they into it, they into it. So sometimes when people you interact with, they were the same people around. They were the same people who were throwing stones.
There will be the same people will bring our dev announcements there and can't bail, so it might be aired. They will bring their public service announcement, their community engagements and things. During the Paris Street election, right? Just I think just few days ago, we were the only media institution so far that covering that thing. When the whole thing came up, it was from our report that the police had to come and
so why we doing it for?
Process. Why do you think we're
doing it for?
It's because we lost someone for Paris Street.
Yeah, because they Paris Street are neighbor. It is not about being neighbor. It is about doing the right thing. And this exercise, what is the name? One of the institutions. My friend is in one of the institutions. We visited one of the institutions. I think Gibson and I. The last time when we visited the area, the guy had an open confession. The man said, since you had left from over there, the officials, everybody can just be in tight.
And we'll go out there.
Oh yes, everybody can just be in tight.
Everybody
can be in tight. When they say 7:30 in Mokai or they will close again 8 o'clock, what are you to do? Everybody will go to work. So that's the type of change you want to see. That's the type of transformation. You should be able to make an impact, have an impact, aside from what other people do. You just have to go by the regular thing over and again.
And over and again.
The library, you gotta be creative, the media.
So
it's not bad thing that will go. So
look,
the last time I went to the Ministry of Youth and Sport, The ministers, when you got no good system over there already, you got one arrogant driver, very rude, aggressive. I didn't know what about degree to even use on this guy, right? The man is very rude. He started to say, the one you got work to do. Are you kidding? You know how many Liberians depending on that particular information to be informed that people who are in government, look, it is as a result of the exercise, since this government came to power, that will know that government official can go to work. It is as a result of this exercise, a voice of Liberia. It's an institution that made for people to know. And will not bow down. Will not bow down. The president of Liberia, listening. And every time you say you condemn, you condemn.
Yeah.
You condemn. You need to stand up. And the young people themselves, we as young people, we need to value ourselves. Treasure your ideas. Because if you don't, nobody will do. If you don't treasure your idea, if you don't value yourself as a person that you have a part to play into the running of Liberia, my fellow brother and sister, you're bound to fall. Nobody will regard you. Nobody will run to you for decision making. Nobody will run to you for suggestion because they turned you to be useless in society. And these are things we continue to see over and over. They marginalize the young people. They marginalize them because they feel they have no backing, because they feel that they have pledged their entire life to individual and forget about self-empowerment. Let's wake up. Liberia can be a better country when young people
challenge themselves to do
challenge themselves and wake up and say, enough is enough. I'm tired of being used by one individual when his children are in better schools, when his children are out of this country, when his children are enjoying life, when this person is in Liberia, but he's sleeping on the best of mattress. This person is in Liberia that today, when you want to change his entire room set, he can do it. But yeah, I'm lying in a room where when the rain falls, hey, that holiday for me. I'm looking for a place to jump. I'm in a country to even eat is a war. But these are people that when they stay lunchtime, going to the best of restaurants, round town, go and see them. Go and see them. So the only thing you do is to wait for them at their car doors, and then you beg, they give you little or nothing. That will not even cost, or will not even be equivalent to the food, the type of food they come from eating. Then you sit down there every day, people using you in this country. Your mind and power burn you.
Nothing to benefit.
They ain't benefiting anything.
Nothing.
For you, they burn you. You not do nothing for them. They burn you to just be problem child. You sit down, someone can tell you, say, let's go turn right. Then you stupid, you pass, then you go and turn right. What's wrong with you? You better wake up. We'll go to the telephone line, we'll call it a deal on this segment.
07709079070 08809079007 adding numbers 0770907907 08809079007. We take a few calls.
Yeah, we'll call
and
it
we call it a day on this 0770 907 907 0880907 907. This person from this end. Good morning.
Good morning.
Let's hear you live.
Thank you. I'm Morris Lamadan. I'm calling from 13th Street, Single.
Morris.
Thank you so much for the program this morning. Thank the both of you guys. Sometimes we need to speak to our brothers and sisters. Being a youth, it does not mean that you don't have no responsibility in a country. You have greater responsibility. But I don't know why our brothers and sisters will always sit down and allow certain group of people, because of $5, $10, they put you in the street, you go, you disturb, you destroy things. At the end of the day, then you coming back again, you say, oh, Liberia beyond town.
Yes.
Liberia not go nowhere. Liberia can be compared to Sierra Leone. You'll be compared to Sierra Leone when you say thinking that you're not even human being.
Oh, yes.
You stay looking at your own lifestyle, you're even human being, you go to school. The people get upset.
Thank you. We'll talk to this person. Good morning.
Hello.
You're live. Let's hear you.
Yeah, my name is this morning.
Quickly.
My brother, I want to appreciate you guys. Good morning. It is important, even in the past and current, it is important for young people to stay a part of education. You can't be behind politicians who will say, "Mother, nothing at the end." Look at your left 5 or 10 years ago. What are you doing for yourself? What are you doing that will today tomorrow in the future? I believe I have invested our mind, hope and pray that we can change our attitude and make it a benefit and brother that I brought a program down to the day school to give the monitor for Liberia and we call on my community and thank you so much in the talk.
Thank you. We'll talk to this person. Good morning.
Good morning.
Let's hear you live.
So my point is for sending out coffee to be precise.
Go ahead. Let's hear you, Amos.
Okay. You know, gentlemen, your platform is very good. It's very good to the youth. You know, because on some of all we are in our picture, indeed it's true. But anyway, always use it as a battlecraft. Also, counsel you want to create electoral violence in this country. Let's pray for Mama Liberia. Let's seek Liberia, the youth today that social has to be benefited. Yes, I report to elect them the two classes mother laws that led November something. Today, some of them are still risking their life to go counter protest, to go counter this, even the coming December 17 protest. I beg them, let them stop. They will not go counter for $50 or $20.
Thank you. We'll talk to this person on line 5. Good morning.
Hello.
Good morning. Let's hear you. What's your name? What do you join the conversation from?
I'm James calling from the Marshall Belt.
Marshall, let's hear you. Go ahead.
Yeah, bro. I must admit, I normally don't really listen to Voice FM and Freedom FM, but today I think I die and listening to Freedom FM. I want to appreciate your universal advice. That's authentic advice you're giving to young people. These days, young people are being used by politicians. At the end of the day, they sit on their breakfast table, enjoy themselves, and get them little of nothing. And the type of advice you give the advice just on the point. Those are waiting to listen and waiting to change, they will change. And those are waiting to change their life, fine, it will be better for them. So I really want to appreciate you for your advice.
Thank you. Thank you. We'll continue to do this. This is Liberia. We want for Liberia to get better. 0770 907 907 0880 907 907. At the numbers, this person on line 2. Good morning.
Yes, good morning.
Good morning. Let's hear you. What's your name?
Hello, I'm Thomas Town College. I'm calling you from Joseph Street to be specific to my community.
Quickly, let's
Go ahead. Go ahead. Others on the line. 30 seconds. Let's hear you.
Yeah, thank you for your topic and the pieces of advice given to the young people. But my concern has to do with why the young people that are always at the front page when it comes to demonstration, which is not fun, we need to discourage them. But my concern has to do with even the journalists, the manners in which the various radio stations are performing. Some of them are performed because of money. They are paid just to promote you on the opposition.
But okay, so let's no, I really want to. So Voice of Liberia is an institution. What have we done that when someone appears, when an opposition figure appears on our radio station, and then people will come from in the community to come cause problem?
I am not talking particularly.
No, but let's it is as a result. We're talking in general, but there was a scene on yesterday that was not good at all.
Yeah, we all condemn it.
Okay, let's talk to the president.
Yeah, let's talk to Voice of Liberia ambassador. Good morning.
Oh yeah, good morning, Paco, and good morning, Harry.
Thank you.
Morning.
We are doing great. Let's hear you.
Yeah, okay. This conversation is very, very great. Last night I was listening to the radio, and then Sekou and the kids were having a conversation, and then the people came to attack. Young people are being used over and over. This is why older people or our father were attacked that they will always say that, oh, you guys fought in this country. How many young people listening to the radio this morning for to have this type of conversation? So what we're doing to ourselves is very, very bad because this feature is for our children. And if we can support this feature, and then I want you to come out a better way. Like, for example, another representative who used to always call me, who always used to be by my side, always used to be with me. This time, they may not get my side, they may just ask me because why? They may, die with you. So how many young people listening to this radio station? I encourage you this morning for young people to follow the radio station and then put on the listing. What happened last night? It was all
Okay. The ambassador. The ambassador.
yes.
Yeah, so it was very bad.
How many people will be on the radio station and then the other guy with the security say, oh, sir, people attack us. It's very, very bad. In this radio station, like the radio station, oh my God, I put that boss alive, bro.
Oh, yes.
When I put him in, oh, and now you're going to be talking against the people. It's not good.
Yeah, so you see,
It's not good.
some people are just attacking you because of just unnecessary thing.
The one I don't get, Paco, and the one I don't get is that when you're doing the right thing, why you feel fighting when people talk
Oh,
about
yes.
Yeah, it's not good. So
Hey.
I pray for Sekou to take legal action. Look at yesterday what happened to the ministry there. All this thing is not good.
Thank you.
Thank you for the show. Thank
Thank
you for the conversation this morning.
This President
you?
Lamfa.
Thank you.
Good morning. Let's hear you.
Good morning.
Good morning. Let's hear you. Go ahead. What's your name?
Yeah, this is Aloysius Dibani, and I call from the Banja Oro.
Aloysius.
Let's go ahead.
Go ahead. Let's hear you.
Yes, I really enjoyed the analysis this morning.
Mm.
You know, people are lacking self-esteem. Self-esteem in this country, actually, to the young people or even to the everyone, is something that we are lacking. Hello.
Yeah,
go
Aloysius,
ahead,
go
man.
ahead.
Yes. So, like the core values of the development. Understand what I'm saying? The Liberian people are lacking. Most of the youth they are lacking. So therefore, the dollarize their character. Can you imagine, my brother? Dollarize their character because of little of nothing. They jeopardize their own lives. All right, and they don't know what the future will bring to them. You understand that? And today, if I'm not on the other side, or if I'm not for you, I'm a complete opposition to you.
Yes.
That is very, very bad. That is very, very bad. All right. So I just want to say, that let the Liberian people, whether it is an opposition, it's an imposition, it's a non-position, let the read things so that Liberia can be put forth.
Thank you.
Thank you for the analysis this morning.
Thank you.
Yeah, we talk to this person right here. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning.
Let's
Good
hear you
morning to
quickly,
you,
my
brother.
brother. Name where you called from.
I'm the guitar and I call from Chocolate City.
Let's hear you,
Go ahead.
guitar. It's been a little while.
Yeah, I'm gonna commend you people this morning. You people are very motivational. You people are very motivational radio this morning. But then, it just took my attention last night when Louis Brown in the studio, telling people that if you're hungry, you should come outside and protest. If you're not hungry, just stay home. If Louis Brown has money, why can't he open companies? Those people that are suffering for him to help them instead of him telling people, say, when you're hungry, you should come outside and protest. I don't think it's necessary for Louis Brown, who has stayed in Liberia, Louis Brown, who is more representative in Liberia, to invite people in the street December 17th to go and protest. I think if he has money, he should open companies and help those people who are suffering. And the government can help people in Nigeria, in other countries. Those big people, they help the people who are suffering.
Thank you. We'll talk to this person. Good morning.
Good morning.
The name where you called from.
This is Joshua. We are calling from Miracle City on
Quickly,
Tuesday.
Joshua.
Yeah, I want to thank you people this morning for the topic. I want to appreciate you people for talking to the young people this morning. Because these people, they are the news, they continue using the young people and young souls while we leave it beyond. They ain't give you anything that will benefit us. All they do to go on the street to disturb. So I want to tell you people thank you this morning.
Thank you. We'll talk to this one. Good morning. Good morning.
Hello?
Let's hear you.
Yeah, this is Lloyd Anderson
calling from District 14.
Let's hear you. Go ahead. So you got 30 seconds. We got
Yeah.
go.
First of all, I want to condemn the violence at your station yesterday. I don't think it was called for, and besides, I don't see the need for young people getting together to do whatever they did based on the fact of politicians influencing them. So that's my own take on it.
Thank you. And this will be our last caller. So,
yes.
yeah, we got to go. Good morning.
Good morning,
Quickly, let's say.
and good morning to your colleague in studio. Well, my name is Christopher S. Bestman, and I join you from my Bourgeois Island residence. I want to appreciate you guys this morning for the analysis. I mean, the discussion was kind of spinning this morning. For me, I'm one person who almost listen to all of the radio stations in Liberia, especially in Monrovia. So, I know journalists or radio stations who speak to the real issue. I know radio stations who are pro-government. I know radio stations who just are particular to the issue, but they don't speak the real issue. They deviate from the real issue. So if I hear people coming out to say words of Liberia or Sheku Sherry is somehow for the government or is doing something different, not in the interest of Liberian people, it baffles me because there are too many programs sometimes we listen to that. Some of these radio stations that are for the government, they don't do it. The last time I was sitting and Sheku Sherry went out of university campus at Sarah Mary University and that of University of Liberia, try to get some brain teasing questions to students. The last time Sheku Sherry went at the Minister of Transport, we heard from the minister. What is it that you're not coming late? And you're not even able to answer. So if we are hearing young people or people who don't have business time, to listen to Google things and then trying to buy them up, some of these independent radio stations who are speaking out the real issue, sometimes it makes us feel somehow different.
Okay.
So I don't want to see this as a issue, that will worry you. Because for us Liberia, for me, if I want a great station of the year, I would grade Voice of Liberia. Secondly, I would grade OK FM. Because you people are doing extremely well. You people have been doing extremely well.
Thank you.
There is nothing anybody can criticize Voice of Liberia because
Definitely. Thank you.
So
Definitely.
this is the thing. The guy stressed a very good point. At Voice of Liberia, we got a program that even promotes the activities of government. There's a program called Governance Out.
Yeah, Governance Out. Of which that institution.
Can you imagine? Just to talk about some of the things that the government is doing, you go to them, they can't come.
They don't come. The airtime has been provided.
We got another program that talks about agriculture.
Producer have been set aside, everything. But the guys have walked to and fro to these.
Governance Out, where that particular institution controls everything as it relates to government. The people don't come. We got another program that promotes agriculture. The agriculture minister, you walk to them, you will not see them. They don't want to come to tell you, Liberians, what they are doing.
Are we magicians to sit there and know
to know what they're doing?
It doesn't work that way. That's
it doesn't work that way. We got another program that features aquaculture. You call the people here and there, they will just tell you blah, blah, blah. They just want to make their time available. We want money from them.
We have environmental program.
Environmental program, the EPA right here.
Just to make the time, I'm saying, just let a person come and talk.
Come and talk.
That's all.
About some of the things you're doing on environmental issues. You pay money.
Every day
just come to the station. The men who using our field. LEC came here the other time. They all are suddenly they say one of the institutions, one of the compliance with all of LEC every day because the equipment we're using here. So all the one now we in tax compliance.
You know what it takes to keep
our business registration, everything. Three studios on every day.
Those of you out there, what it takes to keep a single.
Then you tell a man from environmental institution and say, "Oh, we want for you to come and just tell the people who do your program at the end of the day and play." You say you can't come. How you want for us to promote the one government? It was nice being here, man.
Yeah, I'm sure, Parker, we gotta go.
Tomorrow we'll be here, folks.
We gotta go.
Join us on tomorrow. The young people need to step up. My name is April and Parker. Harry's really been around.
Yeah. And so, Parker, it was great. Tomorrow morning, we're going to be again for another edition. And this is the thing we love to say to everyone. Don't allow yourself to be stupid by someone. Don't allow yourself to be carried away by someone. This is the time you challenge yourself. If you can take upon your time to stand on the soil to cause violence, use that time and engage into things that will benefit you. Use that time engaging into things that will be meaningful for you and that of your family. Until then, join us on tomorrow. I have been Harris, Billy, April, and Paco as well as been there. Thank you so very much for following. Good morning, Liberia. Wonderful. Today, join us on tomorrow. I have been Harris, Billy, April, and Paco as well. Thank you so very much.